Hi everyone, my name is Nathan Clausen. I am the account manager for FieldView for Canada, and I'd like to share with you a high-level overview of some new things or how we made out with FieldView in 2023, and then share with you something new that's coming in 2024 that we'll be bringing to the marketplace. So how do we do in 2023 as we get towards the end of the year? Our user base continues to grow. We're seeing more and more farmers that are adopting digital technology into their operation. Everybody's at a different stage in their journey and using it differently, but we are seeing more interest in digital and specifically with FieldView. So we're up to 6,842 subscribers in Canada, just over 4,800 in Western Canada. A big part of this success is our Bayer teams continue to position FieldView with their growers and their customers. They're understanding or showcasing them what FieldView can do for them on their farm based on their circumstances. And as well, we've also added a number of new people within the FieldView team to be an on-farm resource to help farmers with equipment install, in-season support, be somebody that can help them actually on the farm in their equipment when they're having trouble or need support other than just the 1-800 line. And we found farmer feedback has been very positive with that. So that those two things definitely are increasing user uptake with FieldView. We've also added 2 new partners that allows you to utilize your FieldView information more efficiently. So we've added API connections with Combine. And what Combine is it's a digital grain management inventory tools for farmers to use. So what the farmer can do is they can take all their harvest yield information from FieldView and send it directly to Combine. And what it does is it gives them a digital record of their on-farm grain inventories, and it allows them to track grain delivery. So as they deliver grain, they can scan in grain receipts. It'll reduce their inventory through their app. They can enter in any forward sold contracts. It's really a tool to help a farmer understand what's left on farm that's sold, what's unsold, what their average selling prices is, and just really tries to get customers off a pad of paper and a pen and utilizing a digital tool. As well, we've announced a partnership with FCC Ag Expert. Same thing, if a farmer has captured any as-applied data, so any seeding data, spraying data, or harvest data, that can be sent over to Ag Expert Field. They enter their input pricing into Ag Expert Field, and that software helps them determine ROI on their farms. So we realize FieldView can't be everything to everybody, so we're very much looking for partners that can help fill in the gaps or to help fill a need that farmers are asking for when they're generating data and how to use it better and more efficiently on their farm. We also continue to add new programs. Our marketing teams within our Bayer office is building offers that are supported by FieldView to showcase the value of our products and what they bring to the market. In Eastern Canada, we have a corn seed showcase where we offer a yield guarantee over Pioneer Hybrid. You know, you seed your DeKalb corn versus a Pioneer Hybrid corn. If we don't out yield it, we pay. Similarly, on Delero Complete, it's for tar spot in corn in Eastern Canada right now. Same thing, if you treat your corn and you don't see a yield bump over untreated, we'll pay. And in Western Canada, we have a DeKalb canola seed showcase, very similar to the corn seed showcase. It's a yield guarantee over any Pioneer Hybrid canola out there. So FieldView is the mechanism to capture the data and to whether it's the seeding data and also the harvest data. That's the tool we use to validate the programs. But we find it's a very powerful tool to showcase the value of Bayer products and how easy it is for customers to understand how different genetics perform on their farm. And we also believe it helps retails potentially sell Bayer products a little differently in the marketplace with some of these guarantees and help customers reduce their risk on their farm. As well, new for 2024, so FieldView subscriptions are now $499 per year. So that's if you're a brand new customer or when your renewal comes up. That's a change in the past. As long as you were a Bayer Value customer, FieldView was free and it just auto-renewed free every year. Now it's $499 per year, but you have the ability to get 50% of that cost back through your Bayer Value rebate check. So as long as you're using Bayer products, seed and crop protection, you have the ability to get 50% of that back. And we're also changing to really start focusing more on farmer engagement and the farmer generating data layers. We really want the growers to see the value in collecting the data and what it can do for them and how it can help them on their farm, and as well showcase to retails the insights that these farmers are gathering, again, to generate interest and confidence in Bayer products on the farm or at our retail network. So that'll be a big focus in 2024. So what else is new in 2024? We're going to come to the market with what we're calling right now targeted fungicide application. We had a small program out last year that I'll comment on, and what we'd like to do in 2024 is get some more retails involved so they're comfortable with what this is and what it does in the market, and hopefully how it can help their retail location, and as well gather more feedback from farmers. So what is targeted fungicide application? Really, in a nutshell, it's a program, it's a digitally enabled solution that helps a grower to determine if they should spray a fungicide in their canola, when to spray that fungicide, and then potentially where to spray that fungicide. So when the last couple of years, as we've been working through this program and fine-tuning it, the number one concern of canola growers in Western Canada is still, I'm just not sure if I should spray. There's limited information out there. They're more going off of farmer intuition, their gut feel, maybe the weather in the last week and a half, and it's still a very much, customers are struggling with, am I making the right decision at that time? So we believe that through FieldView, targeted fungicide application can help customers better understand the ROI of their fungicide application, potentially help them with some operational efficiency, and as well improve the sustainable application of our products through scripting if they choose to do that. So what did we do, or what did we learn in 2023? We had three separate projects going. We had a concept trial. So we took the targeted fungicide application and we worked with 44 growers across Western Canada. We had growers participate in all 6 of the Bayer regions, and we had them enroll fields, and then they got notifications on their disease risk assessment, and they also got an email notification about the appropriate time to spray. And then we also worked internally with the model validation. So part of this is, as well, growers get an email saying you're about a week before estimated 30% bloom stage. You get an email saying this is your ideal application window. We wanted to make sure that bloom stage estimate was accurate, so we did some model validation internally with our teams, we'll mention. And then we also had 43 customers that did manual scripting through TFA. And where we're at with that, quick update on the scripting. We had, of those 43 fields, 29 farmers left an untreated check within their script. So we're just working on compiling that yield data and coming up with what the treated versus untreated was, which will definitely help us tell that ROI story. So before I jump into the reports and what a grower gets, essentially how you enrolled in TFA for 2023 was you signed up through FieldView, you identified a couple of your canola fields that were part of it, and then what happened was you received 2 emails. Okay, and this is the first email you received. So this is what we call the if to spray email. So this email showed up in the farmer's inbox as well as their preferred retail. This program definitely works hand in hand with the retail. So the farmer and their preferred retail received this if to spray email approximately 7 to 10 days before estimated 30% bloom stage. And what this provided to the grower is it gave a little bit of an update on our partnership with Weather Innovations, or WIN. They are the people that are providing all the modeling in the background, so they're providing all the disease risk assessments and all the weather information. They are a third-party provider that is providing the risk assessment. That at the top you can see there, it gives the grower for their field their risk assessment at that point in time. So it's a sliding graph of green, yellow, and red. In this example, the customer's risk was moderate. It was just into the yellow. and then we provide some information about agronomic information on sclerotinia, why you should consider spraying, some of the agronomic considerations, as well as some of the research we've seen over Bayer over the years. And then right at the end, we talk a little bit about fungicide scripting or enhanced manual scripting, if you like to do that. So this is the first email that a customer gets, really sets the stage for, here's what we're seeing at this stage in time, and start thinking about making a decision. The second email they get, again, farmer and retail get this email the exact same day, is what we call the when to spray email example, okay? So looks very similar. They get the update on our partnership with Win, and then again, they get another disease risk assessment. So this was the same field. As you can see now, they obviously had either a rain shower or something has happened because their sclerotinia risk assessment has gone up. But now, instead of agronomic information about should you spray, it has changed around to the ideal. It provides you an estimate on when your crop is going to be in that ideal application range of around 30% bloom stage. What we found as well is the farmer feedback on the visual there that comes out of our Bayer product guide is very helpful. We had very positive feedback on that. It helps growers to understand what that canola should look like in black and white. But this is your second email that you would get along with retail and the farmer to say, hey, you're about 3 days out from 30% bloom. It's time to make a decision, and make sure you have your product in place, work with your retail to make a decision. So these are the two emails that went out to growers that participated this year, and then we asked them a handful of questions to understand what their feelings were. And this is what we found out. So on the right side of the graph, we asked growers, okay, what did you think of TFA in general? Just tell us, the email notifications, the process, the sign up, what you got out of it. And 86% of growers said, yeah, there's a desire for a concept like this, which was positive to see. And then we asked that same group of farmers, okay, that's excellent. Would you be willing to pay for something like this? And that's the feedback on the left-hand side of the screen. And we had about 65% of growers said, yeah, they'd likely, purchase something like this, or they'd be willing to pay for information like this from what they experienced this last year. We then asked again, just as kind of to test our own assumptions and what we had heard the last number of years, we said, what is your most difficult decision when it comes to applying fungicide on canola? And once again, over 75% of customers said just if to spray. That's what we struggle with every year. The when to spray and the where to spray are obviously, less, but it still is, as much as we think, for farmers that have grown canola a good chunk of their farming career, they're still struggling with that if to spray decision, and does it make sense for my farm? So then we said, okay, of that group of farmers that said if to spray is my hardest decision or the toughest one, we said, does TFA help you alleviate this pain point? And 40% said absolutely yes. And then the other 35% of the growers said that was the second most helpful. So we believe it's helping that pain point. It's providing some extra information that they can talk to a retail with or talk to their trusted advisor with to understand what's my risk assessment, what's going on, what do you think. It's another tool to help them make an informed decision. This slide shows some of the different farmer perceptions on what's most important to them, and this is interesting. As I mentioned, we had all 6 Bayer regions had customers that participated in TFA, and depending on what area of Western Canada you're in, your decisions or what your most helpful or most difficult decision is slightly different. So in southern Saskatchewan and northern Alberta, the if to spray decision was the most difficult. And I would say that matches up a lot with what we see at Bayer internally. I would say in southern Saskatchewan, typically a little drier, a little more weather dependent, and in northern Alberta, those are your 2 areas that, more often than not aren't spraying, or they just struggle with. I'm not sure if it makes any sense for me. The when to spray was most difficult and most helpful in Manitoba. And for me, being from Manitoba and spending most of my retail life in Manitoba, that one doesn't surprise me as well, because given an average rainfall year in Manitoba, most farmers in Manitoba are penciling a fungicide application, just because with our higher heat and humidity and potential disease risk, if the moisture is there, usually it's not the if to spray is the hardest, it's when to spray. So growers are looking at this tool saying, hey, this makes sense for me if I have multiple canola fields. Can it help me, determine which ones are a little higher risk potentially, but also where do I spray first? So if I've got 10 or 12 fields, help me identify the order in which I should spray these to maximize my fungicide efficacy. So that was most important in Manitoba. And then the where to spray, which talks about the potential for scripting and only spraying, the good areas of your canola fields, was deemed most helpful in the parkland. And when I talked to some of our sales teams there, they totally agree with that assessment as well, because lots of canola in rotation up there, lots of canola on canola. A lot of farmers, again, are just penciling in fungicide applications more so out of tight canola rotation, but they also have a lot of variability with potentially drown out spots, poor land that doesn't produce great crop, variability in the field, and they say that a lot of growers there don't have a problem spraying, but they don't like spending money in poor areas of the field. So the scripting or the where to spray opportunity, again, was most helpful in parkland. So I guess the take-home message here is, it doesn't matter what region you're in. Every farmer is likely going to be different in how they find value in potentially this program and what it can bring to them, and also what it can bring to your retail as well, and trying to help, if you have customers on this program, do we have the right product in the shed at the right time, or who do I need to make sure I'm talking to first because their canola is coming into flower a week earlier than some of my other customers. So definitely a helpful tool for both farmer and retail. And then we asked a question about, the two emails that came out. So the if to spray email and the when to spray email. We asked, was the lead time enough to let you make a good decision? And 80% of the growers said, yeah. When they got the email, it gave them enough time to talk to their retail, get out and have another look, make a decision, make sure they had product in place if they decided to spray, etc. So that's positive. And then we also asked, when we got that second email and it said, hey, your field's about 3 days out from 30% bloom, was that accurate when you went out and took a look? And about 60% of growers said it was. That's a little low, to be honest. When we talk with Weather Innovations, and what an acceptable number should be, statistically, that's around 80%. So if we can get that number from 60 up to 80, that's the sweet spot. So that's something we're going to work a little harder on with Weather Innovations for 2024 to tighten that up. But the positive thing from growers said, when we went out there and looked to see if it was 30%, it wasn't way off. So the grower said, yeah, but if it was a little early, we were probably in that 20 to 25% range, and if it was late, it was in that 40 to 45% range. So it was close. It wasn't way out, but again, we'd like to tighten that up and see if we can be better that way. So I mentioned we also did the model validation. So again, we internally tested that the 30% bloom stage and how accurate the model was internally with our Bayer teams. We had our market development teams, our summer students, and our digital activation specialists all identify fields this year and signed up for TFA internally. And basically, when they got the email that the field was coming into 30% bloom, we asked them to go and take a look and make an assessment as well. And our results internally came back very similar to what the farmers experienced. We had 170 fields signed up. We did bloom stage estimates at 123 across Western Canada. And again, we were about a 60% accuracy rate as well. So very consistent with the farmers. Very similar comments. It was either a little bit too early or a little bit too late. Nothing wildly out of whack. And one thing we're working with Win on are trying to identify some of these areas, as you all know, had some pretty severe drought this year, and we're wondering if that didn't mess with some of the modeling internally. So Weather Innovations is going back and checking into that. And the positive part is we did have some areas, North Sask being one, that they had 100% accuracy on their bloom stage estimates when we surveyed farmers and our internal teams. So again, can we tighten up the modeling to get that, more bang on, is something we're going to be working with or towards in 2024. So what does 2024 look like? We've had enough positive comments, and the model performed, as well as to be expected in the weather environment we had this year. So what we're going to do is we're making the program bigger. So we're going to ask more farmers to participate. We want our retail partners to participate in the program so they understand the process, how to help a farmer sign up, what these emails look like, how it can help the retail potentially sell more product or help a farmer make a more informed decision as well. So we're looking for our retail partners to be more engaged for 2024. We're also going to have some extra rebates available to growers that participate in TFA. They can get some extra discounts on their ProLine Gold if they're part of our targeted fungicide program for 2024. And really, what we're looking for if you're out at retail and listening to this today, if this concept looks interesting to you, you feel you have some customers that would benefit from this, reach out to your local Bayer rep, say, hey, we'd like to learn more about this. We'd love to help you. We're not looking to do this with a pile of customers because we're still learning with this, obviously. But if you've got a handful of customers you'd like to position this with and maybe work through this in 2024, that'd be awesome. Reach out to us. We'd love to work with you. Because our plan, if everything keeps moving the way it is this will be commercially available to everybody in 2025, and we'd really like to have as much farmer information as we can and lots of retail feedback on what they liked, what could be do better in 2024 to make this a real positive thing in 2025. So again, reach out to your local Bayer reps for more information. And with that, I'll wrap up. I appreciate the time, and I hope you all have a great rest of 2023 and a great 2024. Thank you.